Hi there, I'm Jenna Goodhand, and today I'm going to talk to you about time blocking success. And the reason it's not just time blocking I'm talking about is because you are going to experience success in every area of your life after you put into practice time blocking. Now, I originally did this webinar as a live webinar a couple weeks ago, and I had such great feedback. People wanted to see it again. Some people who weren't able to get in on the call wanted to know if there was a way to get the information. So I thought, what the heck, I'll make a video and I'll share it out there. And because I know that if you put time blocking into practice in your own life, whether you do it 10% of the time or 100% of the time, you are going to see a significant difference. So without saying much more, I'm going to get started. I'm going to hide the video. If you have any questions after this webinar, please feel free to contact me. I'll put my email and my phone number at the end of this. And I hope you'll enjoy this with as much enthusiasm as I have. And I'm excited to hear how you put this into practice and how it changes your life. So without further ado, I will get to the presentation. Okay, so just a little bit of a glitch there because this is new to me as well, doing this recording. Okay, so we're talking about time blocking, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this because if you are interested in what time blocking can do for you, it probably means you have a lot going on in your life. So let's get started. Life can get busy, right? There is a lot of demands on us. We have responsibilities, we have different roles. There's so many things that we have to do in our day-to-day life. Sometimes it feels like there's no possible way we can achieve everything. I want to show you how you can. So in this webinar, we're going to talk about the biggest time challenges people have, what time blocking is, how it can solve these time challenges, the other additional values and benefits, how to create your own time blocking schedule, and how to use it in your everyday life and to achieve your goals. So just a little bit of background on me so that you know that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Without time blocking, I don't really know how I would survive. I am dependent on time blocking because I feel like there's so many things I want to accomplish in this one life, and I don't want to put them on hold. I want to get started now. I want to achieve a lot of my goals and dreams, and I also have a little one in my life. And if you're a parent, you know that taking care of your own life can be challenging, let alone somebody else's. And once they start having a really expansive schedule, it can get really difficult to manage both of your lives. So as a parent, I totally relate to that. I'm on my own with my son, so even more so I need to coordinate better. And I'm also an entrepreneur. So if there's anyone on the call who has their own business, especially if you're a one-woman or one-man show, you know that you have a lot of roles. You're not just, a bookkeeper, an accountant, a marketer. You may build websites. You have a lot of responsibilities in your business. And let's be honest, you're not going to love all of them. The truth is, a lot of the things that you do are going to be those extra little things that you have to give yourself a little push to do. So the wonderful thing about time blocking is that you set aside that time to do those things that you forgot to do, and they're going to get done, and you're going to help your business move forward. And you might be thinking, what does eating have to do with this? I love eating there. Health is so important to me. If I'm not eating properly, my energy is off, my mood is off, my productivity is off, I'm more stressed out, and it just sort of snowballs into every area of my life. So the more I can structure my life in an organized way and I allow myself the time to eat healthy, take care of my body, it also hand in hand makes me more productive. So you got a couple images going on here. There's the person who is just go, 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 can't stop. And then at the bottom there, the cat with his head in the bag, that's the person who just feels so overwhelmed they can't even look at what's going on. So where do these time challenges come from? Well, primarily it comes from not planning properly. It comes from having so many things going on in your life that you don't even think you can make a plan because you're kind of just going in reactive mode to what's the next thing that is so urgent to deal with. Not knowing what you want is also really significant in this. So if we imagine what it's like to go to the grocery store, we're hungry, we don't have a grocery list, we don't really know what we're there for, we're just going to kind of pick up the next big flashy thing. We're going to be distracted. distracted, we're not going to make the choice that's best for us because we haven't set aside the time to think about what choices are really going to support the outcomes that we want. Not sticking to a schedule or plan. I've met people who are incredible planners. They're really good at creating schedules and, making goals that are so fine and detailed, but they don't actually stick to it. Okay, so, making a plan is one thing. Putting it into practice is what actually achieves the result. Having too many commitments. That my clients are very highly ambitious people who have a lot of things going on in their life. They say yes a lot to things. And saying yes is wonderful. You get to learn new things about yourself and develop skills and, make a big impression on the world and make it a better place. But when you have too many commitments, your own personal self-care starts to wane. You aren't as productive or efficient or successful in the things that you are committed to, and you're just stressed out. And then there's people who just have low energy. So maybe you're not taking care of your health, you're not eating properly, sleeping enough, doing those self-care things that give you energy. Or maybe you're distracted. So there might be some people who are listening to this right now and you're also texting or you're on social media, you're doing something else that is not giving this your primary focus. That's okay. I totally get that. And I want to help you get over that as well so that you can be in the moment with whatever you're doing. And then that big P word, procrastination, that there's nearly no one on this planet that doesn't procrastinate from a few things once and again. And procrastination is just, putting something off that you don't really want to do until it comes to a point where you have to do it. So, time blocking is here to save the day. What is it? Time blocking is taking specific tasks and putting them into a specific time. And it's not complicated, but it does take a little work to get started. And I apologize that I can see that part of the slides are not showing up. So if there is a slide you want to see and this GoToMeeting control panel is blocking it, let me know. I'll let you know some of the words that we're missing. But here it just says specific tasks at specific times. Okay, so what are we going to be doing when we're time blocking? We're looking at our daily, our weekly, our monthly requirements and how they fit into our life, okay? We're looking at everything that's important to us, all the things we want to achieve, all the things that we're required to do to keep things moving in success and efficiency. And we're also taking our to-do list, and instead of keeping it as a running tally, we're actually plugging it in. So we know when we're going to do these items, nothing gets left behind, and you don't have this list that is sort of haunting you that never ends. And then my favorite thing is taking goals and breaking them down into tiny pieces. And that's the biggest challenge with goals. If you have goals in your life that you've been working on for weeks, months, years, a lifetime, and you don't know why you're not achieving them, it's because they're too big, okay? Well, that's one of the reasons. One of the reasons is they're too big. You can take anything and break it down into a tiny little piece that you can do right now. Okay, everything can be broken down into tiny pieces to get you started. And also, time blocking makes sure that nothing gets left behind. All those important things, all those things you're trying to remember at 11 at night when you're laying in bed, stick them in your time blocking schedule and forget about it until the time comes, then it's there to work on. So as I mentioned, time blocking, it's going to change your life. There's lots of ways in which it will benefit your life that you won't even know you're going to get, which is amazing. So some of the obvious ones is you're going to have better focus. So, you're taking a specific task at a specific time, and that's what you're looking at. So if at 9 a.m. you're looking at returning emails overnight, then that's all you're working on. You're not worrying about what you have to do next or later that day or checking social media. You're just focused in the moment. And our brain really can only focus on one thing at a time. When we're multitasking, we're actually shifting back and forth, back and forth. So especially those people who want to be more present, more in the moment, more, involved in the things they're doing, this is going to help you do that because you're going to be able to focus on one thing for just a small amount of time. You're going to have fewer mistakes, fewer surprises, and you're not going to be forgetting anything. And this is because you already know what you're going to be doing. So you don't have to worry about something popping up that you forgot about. You already have it in your schedule, and you're going to have less mistakes because you're more organized in your life, okay? Less wasted time. we waste so much time. There's even myself who works diligently at following a schedule. There's still times in the day where somehow I get distracted and I'm on to something and I realize, 15 minutes has gone by and I don't even know where I am in terms of my day. So this is going to help you bring you back to where you were and where you want to be. So just like in meditation, how, we teach people to come back to your breathing. With time blocking, when you get distracted, just come back to the time blocking, come back to the schedule and see where you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to be. And my favorite thing is more free time. Now, when I show you my time blocking schedule, and there's a reason I didn't show it to you in the beginning, you're going to think, this girl has no time to do anything. When does she do any of the things she enjoys as her life? Where's the spontaneity? Where's the time to, grow and do those sorts of things? I promise you, when you follow a time blocking schedule, you'll be so efficient that you will have these extra moments throughout the day that you never had before because you're going to be productive. You're going to be in the moment, focused. You're going to be moving more efficiently, and you're going to have that free time. And the best part is you create that free time. You decide, Friday afternoons, I get to do whatever I want. Maybe that's going and going for a walk in the park. Maybe it's going to Chapters and getting lost in the book aisles. Maybe it's getting out of the city early and going on a weekend vacation. Whatever it is you want to do in that time where you're busy and you're thinking, oh, if I only had more free time, those are the things you can now put into your schedule. Guilt-free, they're there for you. And the other just additional things, less stress, better relationships, better health. You'll be in a better mood. When you're more productive, when you're more organized, and you're less stressed out, you're in a better mood. And that just overflows into all the other areas of your life. So let's get started. So if you're watching this and it's recorded, you're going to have a little bit more time to do this, which is great. So if you need to pause at any point, you can do that. And definitely, if you have any questions, you can follow up with me after. So this is just an example of how to get started. So the first step is to think of all the responsibilities, all the roles you play in your life, and what you have to do in those things. So here's just a sample of a client, and they have a couple of jobs that they work on. They're on a committee, they're a parent, and they also have personal things they have to do. And what you're going to do is just put all the responsibilities you have under each category. Now, this isn't very detailed. This is just kind of to get you started. And then as we get along, I'll show you a little bit more details. But this is just to give you the idea of the different roles and responsibilities. So all you're doing is creating a heading and then listing all the responsibilities you have under those, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to list how much time it takes to do each one of these activities. So here's another sample client, okay? And under Business A, they've got all these things they have to do, following up with clients, social media posts, webinars, writing, and these are the time requirements they have. Some of them are things they do every day, maybe a couple times a day. Some of them is, would be scattered throughout the week or a couple times a week. Something might be once a month. So whatever the requirement of time is for those activities, write that beside the task. And some of them you might not know right away. You might just have to guess, and you'll get to know better how much time it actually takes you to do things when you start implementing your time blocking schedule. Okay, and then we're getting closer to the finished result. The next thing you're going to do is take each of these tasks, which with each of the time requirements, and you're going to put them under the heading of daily, weekly, monthly. And this is just going to help you to see, how much are you actually doing or requiring yourself to do in a day, weekly and monthly, because this is what you're going to put into your time blocking schedule. Okay, so this is another client. One of their goals is to exercise 3 times a week for 30 minutes. So we've just put that under the weekly heading. Okay, there may be some things that you do once every 6 months or every 6 weeks. If it's something that fits outside of the daily, weekly, monthly, just make another category. You can add that into your schedule when you get started. Okay, now one thing to mention, if you aren't doing something now, if you have a new goal that you really want to start implementing in your life, I wouldn't suggest putting it in your schedule right away. Just try doing the things that you're already feel like you have to do, and just get a flow going. See where you have that extra time and then start implementing your goals, okay? Recess at the school beside me, that bell if you heard it. Okay, so the next thing is, this is a sample of my time blocking schedule at some point, okay? So these are all the things that I took from my, my roles, my responsibilities, and I put them under the categories, how much time they would take, and then I started implementing into a Google Calendar. And the thing I love about Google Calendar is not only that I can access it anywhere there's internet, but I also have it on my phone. So I can update it as I'm going about my life, and you can also overlay other calendars. And that might be a little bit confusing to try to explain just from this screen here, but what I mean is this is just my time blocking schedule. So if there was nothing going on in my life other than just following up with these things every day, then I wouldn't then this would be my base schedule. But I have other calendars that I overlay that show, appointments that are coming up, maybe projects, assignments, special meetings that are not every single week or every single day or month, okay? So that's one thing that Google Calendar will let you do, and definitely, look up on YouTube if you want to know how to do that. But the great thing about this calendar is when I plug in an event, I can say whether I want to do it daily, every other day, what days of the week, if I want it every other week, if I want it once a month, and then that way it helps organize this for you. Doing this on paper can be very challenging, a lot of scribbling, erasing, and when things come time to change, you're going to want to make it in an easier way for yourself, okay? So this just allows you to kind of test things out, right? So here I have, morning ritual at 5:45 in the morning. You might want to wake up at 5:45 in the morning, but maybe after a couple weeks you realize that's unrealistic. Maybe it's better for you to wake up at 6:30 and go to bed a little earlier or a little later, depending on what works for you, okay? So this is a learning experiment. You're growing through this. This is not a one time, you get this done and this sticks for life, right? This is a process that's going to allow you to learn more about yourself, more about your productivity, your energy throughout the day. What do you actually enjoy doing? Which things do you tend to leave behind? Where are your distraction periods? This is going to teach you a lot more about yourself than just how to organize your life. Okay, so once you have that time blocking schedule, the base of it all, what you're going to do is, and I like to do this on Sundays and also every night, is take those extras and put them in there. So if a meeting came up during the week, or you have a new client that week and you need to find a space for them, add that in so that you have that into your schedule as well. And then eventually when you feel, that you're ready to add in goals, do that as well. The other thing to do is maybe you don't want a schedule that's every single week or every month, but you want to just look at one day at a time, okay? You can do the same thing. You can, the night before, like on a Sunday night, you can look at your week or just the next day and decide what is it I need to do tomorrow, and then decide how much time each of those activities takes and when you're going to do them, okay? So you can even go about it 1 week or 1 day at a time. And then what I like to do also is, so for example, I work with a lot of different clients, and it can be confusing for me to manage how many or, which clients are doing what and when we last spoke and when I need to talk to them and their main focuses. So what I like to do is I have a sheet that says, clients, and I just keep details of what's going on with those clients. And in my time blocking schedule, I have a client's time block. So when I get to that time block, I turn to my page in my files here, and I know exactly where I'm at, what I need to do next. So this is just to emphasize that, let yourself know what you're doing when you get to the place that you're going. So whatever you're scheduling, don't use that time to figure out what you're going to be doing. Already know what you're going to be doing by having a list or some focus of that area. You can just go there and pick up where you left off, okay? And the other thing, as I mentioned, sorry, it's cut off here. It says what's working and what isn't. Review and renew. Always be asking yourself, what's working, what isn't, how am I using this? Am I forgetting about this at certain times of the day? What strategies do I need to get better at using? What habits do I have to be better at using? How is this benefiting me? And these are great questions to just ask yourself in general. What's working in your life? What isn't? And definitely use this with your time blocking schedule to see where your time is best used, where it isn't, and where you need to have some additional support, some additional tools to help you get more productive. As I'm realizing just now, I forgot to take this slide out. So I guess because it's here, I will include it in this presentation. So during the webinar, I just said, because you already know the half of what time blocking is, I offered those who attended a 50% discount because for my time blocking program. So my time blocking program, essentially, I meet with a client, we talk about the time challenges in their life, where it's been difficult for them to organize their life, the stresses, all the things that not being organized or having too much on the go, how it's affected their life. And we look at what they want out of life. What is it that they can't seem to get towards because they feel stuck in their overwhelm of the things that are going on in their life? And so what we do is we go through that. We talk about, how great life is going to be once they get going into the time blocking. And then we create a time blocking schedule together. And then I follow up with them. We look at some of the inefficiencies. We talk about strategies on how to move forward from that. And so that I just do with clients in a one-on-one, over the phone, or over email. So because you've attended this, you already know that background. I'll offer you 50% off of that for $145 for 2 sessions. And it says register by tomorrow at noon. I don't know what day you're watching this. So if you want to just take advantage of this opportunity, please just when you contact me to sign up, just let me know that you watched this webinar so that I know that you already know a lot of what's going on. Okay, so, and, thank you. And if you want to provide questions or feedback, I would love this. My mission is to help you be more efficient, to be better in your life in every area, whatever's important to you. I want you to be succeeding at that. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you want to contact me, you can contact me at info@personalvitalitycoaching.com. You can check out my website, which is just personalvitalitycoaching.com, and there you can find my phone number as well. And I look forward to hearing from you. I want to thank you again, and good luck, and I can't wait to see what you do with this.